we have our guests from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica. They are celebrating Chartered Accountants Week from October 6th to October 11 under the theme Reimagining the Future. Now, they got me from that. I'm immediately interested when I see the theme Reimagining the Future, Integrity, Innovation, and Impact. So the integrity, innovation, and impact is icing on the cake because I'm sure when we speak to Eric Scott, president of the ICAJ, Sharon Harvey-Wilson, chairperson of the PR committee, and Ingrid Christian Baker, business conference chair, they'll tell us exactly why it is important to reimagine the future. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning, Raymond. Good morning,
JT. Eric.
Morning, sir.
And we have...
Good morning to all listeners of Newstalk FM.
Thank you very much.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here today representing the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica, along with Sharon and Ingrid, as we discuss our upcoming Chartered Accountants Week 2024. We are excited to share with you all the fantastic initiatives we have planned for this week.
All right, Sharon, are you there?
Yes, I am, Raymond.
Ingrid, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you both. Good morning to you all three. So we're going to start off with the PR committee chair, Sharon Harvey-Wilson. Talk to us about the thinking that went into the theme, Reimagining the Future, Integrity, Innovation, and Impact.
Okay, thanks for that question. As you're aware, we are in a digital time frame in terms of what's happening to us. There's a lot of technological advancements and change, and we feel that this theme encompasses all that is happening, all that persons are experiencing on a day-to-day basis, especially business. We're in the world of AI, and we are evolving. We're really in a very strong evolving time, and that's why we found it suitable to choose this topic, as we have been experiencing it on a day-to-day basis. I mean, recently you see where Jamaica has embraced the Data Protection Act, and that is, in and of itself, a recognition that the digital time is here on us, and we just need to be in a position where we can respond to it positively, and as such, that's why we have selected this theme this year.
Right. Now, why is continuous learning critical for professionals, especially in a field like accounting? Sharon?
Yes, it's very important because information changes and business changes. And the things that you learned 10 years ago may not be relevant now. And the standards have also changed. The accountancy profession is led by standards. And as such, we have to continue our professional development on not only an annual basis, but even a daily basis, monthly basis, so that we can stay on the cutting edge of serving our businesses and our clients.
All right. And just to say, listeners, we should be sharing this segment with three important guests. So I'm going to do the questions related to the PR aspect of the event with Sharon first, and then I bring in Eric and Ingrid. So next question, Sharon, is how does the ICAJ firstly support its members, its internal clientele, in maintaining their professional development?
Okay, we support our members in many aspects. First, we have the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica. The institute is a membership institute, so chartered accountants who are members here get their support just by being a member. That's one thing. Two, as well, we provide continuous professional development for them. So throughout the year, we host a series of seminars and events which really focus on their needs and their development needs. And these continuous professional development adds to their CPD credits, which is required for their annual filing. So that's one critical part of it. As well, we also provide opportunities for sharing and collaborating with other members through networking. So, for example, if you're working on a project and you may think that you're not properly resourced or you need more information in terms of sharing the knowledge and getting to a reasonable conclusion. It's an opportunity for you to reach out to other members. So this institute is very critical for professional accountants who want to be on the top of their game.
All right, and next question for you for now is, could you share a little bit more about the activities for the week? I know I can guess that it opens with a church service, but what happens for the rest of the week?
Okay, so as you rightly said, it opens with a church service. This year we go to the west. We are at Westgate Hill Baptist Church, and church service begins at 10:30 a.m., followed by a small brunch. And much of the week we'll be sharing with presentations to tertiary institutions and service clubs. So we're going to actually be informing persons of our role, responsibilities, how they can become a chartered accountant, the profession, how fulfilling and rewarding the profession is. So those presentations will be primarily made to tertiary institutions and service clubs. We have included service clubs because we realize that in the service clubs tend to have a lot of business professionals, and you really want them to understand the critical role the chartered accountant play in their businesses, and so that they can fully appreciate these professionals that serve them on a day-to-day basis. On Tuesday, we also recognize our retirees because, we have to always embrace the persons who have gone ahead of us and set the foundation and the platform where we are today. So we have a retiree recognition ceremony at the Courtly Hotel on 12:30 p.m. And it's really our retired members, just to make clear. So we're targeting to make sure that we include them as well. On Wednesday is a big day for us. It's a Chartered Accountants Day. It's the day that is recognized in our national calendar to recognize our profession as chartered accountants. We are really feeling passionate about that. And as such, we have reached out to companies, corporate Jamaica, and I'm now reaching out and appealing to corporate Jamaica as well to embrace and recognize the chartered accountants within your service, within your business, those who work with you on a day-to-day basis, and those who serve and support your business, your auditors, your professional advisors.
I'm glad you mentioned the other professions in the ecosystem that you operate in. And at this point, I'd like to bring Eric in. One of the things that Sharon said earlier, Eric, is that the standards have changed, and therefore the professionals within the profession must change. This might appear to be a simple question, but do you have to be registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica to operate as a chartered accountant in Jamaica?
Yes, Raymond. Thank you. That's a great question. Yes, only persons who are members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants can use the designation CA.
Okay. And outside of achieving certain qualifications, which makes them a chartered accountant in terms of training, what other standard certification must they reach to be registered, and can someone lose their registration?
So normally, in order to be a CA, it is important that you pursue a certain level of tertiary education. So to be a chartered accountant in Jamaica, you need to be a member of the ICAJ, as we have discussed. Mm-hmm. The requirement for membership is completing a qualifying exam accepted by the ICAJ. In addition to that, there has to be qualifying experience, 3 years of practical experience, and normally verified by another chartered accountant. And the person must meet a certain ethical standard. And upon obtaining that designation, the chartered accountant is then required to pursue continuing professional development to remain current. And if they don't keep that currency, there's an opportunity that they could lose their designation for different reasons, disciplinary reasons, and not keeping current.
I notice you're keen to say lose their designation rather than lose their certification or their licenses. So it is not that somebody can be... So the ICAJ does not operate the way, for example, the GLC does for the legal profession.
And so, we have two main bodies that are responsible for accountancy in Jamaica. You also have the Public Accountancy Board, and you have what we call registered public accountants. And these persons operate with a license. So you can, between the PAB and the ICAJ, someone could be struck off the list for disciplinary reasons, similar to the GLC, or not maintaining a particular standard of work or education.
And we understand, I think most people will, why that has to be the case, because when somebody refers to a chartered accountant for business certification purposes, if the business is planning to list on either the junior stock exchange or the regular stock exchange, these are some of the questions that people are asking for in terms of audited financials and related activities. So I can understand why between the ICAJ and the PAB that level of seriousness would be applied. What are some of the key takeaways, Eric, that people who participate in the week's activities, especially the big day on Wednesday, what are some of the takeaways that they should gain?
And so, thanks for that. So, this week of activities, the Chartered Accountants Week is one of the most anticipated events on the calendar for Jamaica's accounting community. It's a week-long celebration from October 6th to 11th, and it's an opportunity for us to reflect on the vital role that accountants play in shaping the future of business, both locally and globally. As you had mentioned, this year's theme, reimagining the future, integrity, innovation, and impact, highlights the core values that drive our profession through the week. So we'll be focusing on the need for continuous learning, ethical leadership, and embracing innovation to stay competitive in today's rapidly evolving financial landscape. Sharon already mentioned that we have a list of events that we have planned, and we want to connect not just with the professionals, but with also the students, because we believe that they're the future of the profession. And so for us, what is important for our stakeholders is to ensure that we empower our members to deal with the challenges that they will face in this changing environment.
All right, and at this point we bring in Ingrid to now speak about the business conference itself. The business conference is a major highlight of the Chartered Accountants Week. Can you share why this is so important for persons entering the profession as well as seasoned professionals?
Okay, yes. So on Thursday, the 10th of October, that's the day for the business conference. And the conference itself will provide an opportunity for business professionals, and not just accountants, and Eric mentioned students as well, to come and to network, to learn about new and emerging trends, not just in the accounting profession, but also in the business world. And not just here in Jamaica, but we'll explore how worldwide trends are affecting us here. And also they will gain an insight into accounting and business best practices. So the conference is designed to contribute to their professional development. We have CPD points that will be awarded to the accountants, and also to help to gain insight into paths for career development. As Eric said, the profession has ethics and integrity as a key pillar. And this conference is designed to not just embrace those traditional elements of accounting, but also to show the linkage between accounting and business in general.
No, I'm happy you made the emphasis about not just seasoned professionals, but for students coming in as well, because I find that kind of exposure outside of the classroom setting deepens somebody's understanding and commitment to a profession they are seeking to enter. Take us through what are some of the critical topics that will be discussed during this year's conference?
Right. So the conference will be focused on a number of things, which are beginning. We will have as our keynote speaker the NCB CEO. So he will be talking about the topic generally: integrity, innovation, impact. We will look at how, as accountants and as business people, we are operating in this world with AI. So we'll be looking at developing a mindset to meet the challenges of AI. Should we be afraid of it? How should we embrace it? And we know that we're operating as businesses more and more on the internet. When we are operating in cyberspace, we have experienced fraud. So whilst we are using it for good things, there are persons out there who are using it for not the most ethical reasons. So one of our topics look at, are you being scammed? And so we are bringing in a panel of bankers to talk about how businesses can build resilience for their organization to ensure that they protect themselves. When we were discussing the topic, one topic that came up was an update on shipping and logistics post-COVID. And we find that it has become so very relevant today because we know what's happening in the U.S. right now with the strike that is going on the port, right, and the impact that could also have on us.
Supply chain, yep.
In supply chain, right.
Listen.
So we're trying to ensure the topics are very relevant to today, not just to accountants, but business in its general sense.
When you said, are you being scammed, especially people in my age range that remember the comedy, Are You Being Served? It just goes to show how society has changed, because the standard question would be, are you being served? But no, you really have to ask, are you being scammed? And it's an increasingly difficult question to decipher.
It is. And the scammers are becoming increasingly creative. Yes. And so we are trying to ensure that we stay at the forefront of the thinking and of the actions that are going on. So what we're going to do is share our experiences, invite others in the conference to share their experiences so we can know what's happening and be prepared to protect ourselves and the businesses that we operate in.
Awesome. No, the final question would be the going back to the theme again, the reimagining the future. If I was to ask the question and ask you first and then go back to the president and perhaps Sharon, or each one of you could decide to take the question. In 10 years' time, having done this year's Chartered Accountants Week, in 10 years' time, what would be the main characteristic of change within the Chartered Accountants profession that would say to you three, yep, the 2024 week of activities connected and connected well? Ingrid, Eric, Sharon.
Okay, so in 10 years from now,
yes,
we will have looked back at, right now we are embracing the new era of AI and automation. What are the new changes, not only in accounting software that we're using, but we're talking about our reporting requirements in stock exchange. We're talking about using business intelligence, shipping, logistics, all of these together. Looking forward, what are we doing today to prepare ourselves, to prepare our businesses? Will us as accountants have moved from not just looking at spreadsheets and looking at our accounting packages, but are we prepared to utilize the new tools, or would we have prepared ourselves to utilize the new tools that are becoming available? Because some are available now and they're emerging as we speak. So this is putting us
in a realm where we prepare ourselves to embrace the future and remember our core underlying aspect of the integrity of the profession.
Mm-hmm. And Eric, you want to add to that?
Yes, I support what Ingrid has shared, and clearly the main changes will revolve around artificial intelligence, and so the skill set to account undoubtedly will change, and as things become more fully automated, freeing accountants to focus more on strategic roles such as financial analysis and advisory services. And I also believe that the technology changes will help to address some of the issues around fraud and improving the accuracy of the reporting that accountants provide to the stakeholders. Mm-hmm. And there's no doubt that it's about that adaptation. And as we go through the next 10 years, accountants will have to develop a mindset of adapting and putting themselves in a position to add value to stakeholders and staying true to our mission this year about integrity. So irrespective of the changes of technology, the ethics and the integrity of accountants will be the cornerstone on which we will build our profession.
All right, I think that's all the time we have for this segment. And looking forward to updates. I'm sure there will be reports in the press and on the various platforms coming out of this. And again, the Chartered Accountants Week 2024 runs from October 6 to October 11. And as Sharon says, Wednesday is the big day. All of the days are important, but Wednesday is the day. Thanks very much, Eric, Sharon, and Ingrid for joining us this morning.